Hey guys, this is Ashton here again for Nerd Swag, here to bring you a little rant of mine that I wanted to get off my chest for a while. And this is something that I'm sure a lot of people do agree on with me, but feel free in the comment section to let me know how you feel about this. But yeah, I'm pretty much going to give you guys my reason of why I dislike Dragon Ball Z. I love Dragon Ball Z as a whole series, it's one of my favorite series. But there's one thing that's always really bugged me, and it still bugs me to this day. And that one thing is the lack of character development in the series. If you go over the whole series, there's only like 3 people who get character development in all of Dragon Ball. And that's Piccolo, because he was evil and becomes good. That's Vegeta, because he was evil and becomes good. And I believe Gohan gets this much character development. And the character development for Gohan is what I really want to talk about and what I really dislike about this series. So, if you guys know this series, you guys know who Gohan is, but I'll describe who he is for the people who haven't seen this series. So Gohan is the son of Goku, and Goku is essentially the main character of the series. After Dragon Ball, he has a kid with Chi-Chi. They name him Gohan after Goku's grandfather, adoptive grandfather. And so the thing that really bugs me is from the very beginning, from the very moment, almost the very moment Gohan is introduced in the series, he is set up to become the new hero of the series. We see this at the very beginning with a fight with Raditz. Gohan gets angry because he sees his father getting hurt, and he gets a power level higher than Piccolo's and higher than Goku's from this rage he gets put into, and actually manages to hurt Raditz. Also, we see some of his potential with his fight against Vegeta when he comes to Earth. And technically Gohan is the one that defeats Vegeta. If you remember, he turns into the giant ape, also known as the Ozaru, and falls on top of Vegeta, and that's what eventually does him in. And before that, Gohan was actually fighting against the injured Vegeta and actually holding his own. So essentially he does beat Vegeta, and then we see in the Frieza saga Gohan against Frieza. Gohan almost kills Frieza in his 3rd form. If you remember that giant energy battle wave against Frieza, the only thing that saved Frieza was his tail. If he would have made contact with the Earth, or with the planet Namek, then he might have actually died or been severely injured to where they could have finished him off themselves. And then finally we see Gohan reach his full potential in the Cell saga, and he's the one that defeats Cell. And over the course of this, you see him just being built up as a character, the person who has shown the potential just to be the strongest warrior in the universe. There's several times where he becomes enraged at seeing his friends injured or seeing his dad injured, and becomes more powerful than any other Z warrior that's there at the time. And so with all this build-up, we get to the Cell Saga, with all this writing Akira has been doing, building up Gohan's character and building up his power to the Cell Saga to where he becomes the first person to become Super Saiyan 2, defeats Cell, and at this point he's miles above everybody in terms of power. So we see this, and we all see it coming. You know, it's kind of an obvious thing. Even Trunks says in his timeline, Gohan is the only one that survives against the androids. And I don't think that's a coincidence that he's the only one that survives against the androids, because at this point, that's probably how he turned Super Saiyan. The rage from seeing all of his friends die, and he's able to hold his own all those years fighting against the androids, even though with a Zenkai boosts, fighting against the androids, you should have eventually beat him. But that's just how it was written. So, the argument a lot of people want to give to this is Gohan doesn't like to fight. Gohan is not a fighter. He wants to become a scholar. And my argument against this is character development. if Gohan's character had any development, he would have understood his role in protecting the Earth and needing to protect Earth. Because, like Android 16 said in his speech to Gohan before he turned Super Saiyan, he said, Gohan, I know you don't like to fight, but you do love the things on the planet Earth. You love the animals, you love nature, you love all these things. So don't fight for the enjoyment of battle. Fight to protect the Earth and the things that you love. So at that point, I know he's young, he's only like 13 or 14, but if you're going to introduce him when he's 4 or 5 years old in a series, he has to have character development. And the character development should have been after talking to Android 16 before he turns Super Saiyan, or before he turns Super Saiyan 2. It should have been, okay, I understand my role. I don't have to enjoy fighting. It's not like I'm not like my dad, I'm not like Vegeta, I'm not a full Saiyan. But the thing is, if I want to protect the Earth and protect the things I love, I need to continue on and train in order to be the next savior of the planet Earth. Since after the Cell Saga, Goku goes away for 7 years. He's dead for 7 years. And decides not to come back because he feels like he's the problem and the Earth would be safer with him gone. So, and it's not like Gohan had to train 24/7. He could have studied and trained, but he decided just to study, which doesn't make sense to me, and it doesn't make sense to someone who has half of the same blood, doesn't enjoy fighting just a little bit. I mean, we see him throughout the whole series training. He trained from the point where he was 5 years old to the point where he was 13 years old. So there has to be a little bit of that Saiyan blood getting in there and saying, okay, I actually do enjoy fighting. And he's even came out and said that he wanted to be like his dad when he got older. He admired his dad. So it is really far-fetched to say that he wouldn't have trained at all those 7 years. It's really crazy as Akira, as a writer, to say that I'm just going to make Gohan not train for 7 years. It's a total plot hole. Well, it's not a plot hole, it's just bad writing. Really bad writing to have Gohan not train for 7 years. He could have trained just for 3 hours a day and studied for the rest, and he still would have been fine. He still would have been the strongest when it came to the Buu Saga. He could have had Bulma sent him over one of those gravity ships that Vegeta uses and Goku used to train. He only needed to train like 2 hours a day in one of those gravity machines, and he would have been set. It's really ridiculous, really bad writing, and now we're seeing this bad writing take fruition in the new movies that are coming out. Battle of Gods. First of all, Akira made him turn Super Saiyan when he can't turn Super Saiyan, because after the Mystic Gohan and in the Buu Saga can't turn Super Saiyan, yet they had to go back and fix that in order to not have him turn Super Saiyan against the battle with Beerus, and then he turns Super Saiyan when he's giving his dad the God powers. Doesn't make any sense. And now we already have another trailer that came out showing Gohan turning Super Saiyan. So, unless they explain it in this movie as to how he can become Super Saiyan, that's a big plot hole right there. So, that's really my huge problem with Dragon Ball Z is Gohan's development as a character. I feel like they purposely had to nerf him in order to have Goku and Vegeta become the main characters. And that's fine, but you can honestly have a story with Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan all sharing the spotlight, which is what they did do in the Cell Saga and in part of the Buu Saga. They had them share the spotlight, but then they had Gohan get defeated by Buu, even though apparently he can turn Super Saiyan. If he would have turned Super Saiyan in the fight against Buu, he would have demolished him against Buu tanks. But I guess that's just the way he wants to write it. At least he needs to come out, Akira Toriyama needs to come out and admit that he messed up with the character development of Gohan. I could accept it if he came out and admitted he messed up on the character development of Gohan, or maybe just come out with a movie where he actually shares some of the spotlight with Goku or Vegeta, or even make him the main character, because Gohan has always been a fan favorite and has always been, or should have been, the universe's strongest warrior. Because especially against Beerus, he didn't turn Super Saiyan against Beerus when he went and fought him in the last movie. If he would have turned Super Saiyan 2, because apparently he could turn Super Saiyan, according to the movie, if he went and turned Super Saiyan 2 and fought against Beerus, what would have happened? Because on top of his mystic powers that he got, he didn't even go Super Saiyan. He just powered up a little bit, went and got knocked around by Beerus. Didn't even really try, because apparently he could turn Super Saiyan still. So they're nerfing him in order to have Goku and Vegeta have the spotlight, which is a little stupid. I mean, Gohan didn't have to defeat Beerus. It still could have been Goku, but at least give Gohan what Vegeta got. Vegeta got a few good hits in on Beerus. Gohan got nothing, and Gohan is still the third strongest out of the three, out of Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan. So it's a little far-fetched to say that that would happen. So I really think that is the thing that I think about. I had a talk with my friend at work about this because he's a Dragon Ball Z fan too, about how they're just nerfing Gohan for everything, because he's a big Gohan fan too, as most people are who are a fan of Dragon Ball Z. It's either Gohan or Vegeta, but we agree that he had to get nerfed in order to make Goku the main character again, which is BS, because how are you going to build up a character for so long in your series and then all of a sudden just downgrade him for no apparent reason? So it just is a disservice to all the people who grew up watching Gohan become the guy. And then, yeah. But that's just my thoughts. Leave your guys' comments in the comments section down below. Like the video if you enjoyed this rant. Subscribe to Nerd Swag. Until next time, you guys. Peace.